Tonight, former President Donald Trump's legal problems deepen. The former president says he received a letter informing him that he is a target of the Justice Department's investigation into efforts to undo the results of the 2020 presidential election. This comes the same day the first pretrial conference was held in connection with the federal case against him relating to his handling of classified documents. Tonight, we have live team coverage from Washington to Fort Pierce.
Yeah, Liz, here we go. Things finally getting started. Our Atra Al-Nashar is joining us in D.C. tonight with the latest on the DOJ's investigation into Mr. Trump's involvement to rig the 2020 election. But then there's that other case in Fort Pierce. CBS 12's Amber Robb is joining us tonight over in Fort Pierce. She's asking people there what it's like to be in the national spotlight. But first, our I-Team chief investigator, Mike Magnoli, joining us from outside the federal courthouse in Fort Pierce tonight with what happened in this, the first courtroom hearing in the classified documents case. Mike?
So, Jim, right now, Judge Eileen Cannon has a lot to consider. Both sides came with a lot of compelling arguments. For the prosecution, they say, let's get the ball rolling here. They want a speedy trial. The Trump defense team saying we need to pump the brakes on this. They say there is no way that this could unfold fairly, given the fact that he is the leading candidate for his party and that we're in an election cycle. And also relevant today, we learned that there's over 1,000 days worth of security camera footage from inside Mar-a-Lago that will be evidence.
Prosecutors making their arguments first. They say they're pushing for an aggressive schedule. They say Judge Cannon's ruling must put faith in America's trial by jury process. They say indeed it is possible to find jurors who can put politics aside and look at the facts presented in court. And they want to target a December trial. Not so fast, Trump's defense team says. They say this is an incredibly complex case, and they say there could be pending defense motions that accuse federal prosecutors of abusing their grand jury powers. And then there's the matter of going over everything in the discovery files. 9 months of footage captured by security cameras at former President Trump's Palm Beach resort. Footage that shows the moving of boxes. Those are the boxes at the center of this case, because of the papers they contained. Former President Trump is accused of withholding those documents when prosecutors say he should have handed them over to the government archives.
I will tell you that just because it's written in the indictment doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to carry the day and result in a conviction.
Omar Antonio Lopez is a criminal defense attorney with extensive experience in federal court. He says while the indictment is very detailed, skilled lawyers can get a lot accomplished with pretrial motions, and those could affect what the jury sees and hears. Now, Trump's defense team says they could have their motions submitted by December, but they would not be ready for a trial that soon. So they're asking for a continuance. How long will they get? That's in the judge's hands now. And she is aware that Trump has several other pending trials.
Can the prosecution appeal a judge's granting of a continuance? Yes. Will they? Likely no.
Back with you live here. I want to explain the last soundbite in that story, give you a little more context. If the judge says, okay, to the defense, we'll postpone this until after the election, prosecutors could take this to the next level up. They could appeal that decision. But as he was telling you, that's not likely because the volume of discovery here is so extensive. And guys, we are standing by for this decision from the judge. It could come at any moment, and that will really set the table here for scheduling. We'll see when the next steps in this process could unfold.
Greg, just the start of what's expected to be one of the biggest news stories to hit the Treasure Coast in years. CBS 12's Amber Robb is joining us over in Fort Pierce with reaction from locals there about their moment in the spotlight. Amber?
Jim, if all goes as scheduled, then hundreds of people will be walking up and down these streets here for former President Donald Trump's trial. And people I spoke with today say while they're excited for their town to be in the spotlight, they have some worries about the extra attention and some headaches it may cause. Trump's trial is the talk of the town in Fort Pierce.
I'm excited, actually. I'm looking forward to it. Like, this town needs attention.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool. You know, not a lot of people know about Fort Pierce, so it's pretty cool to have, like, you know, all that going on in here.
Business owners tell CBS 12 News they're looking forward to the influx of people, especially during the off season.
I'm looking forward to, especially me, I'm a retail shop, and retail in the summer, that's our down season, you know, so we kind of struggle to to get people here.
It's gonna be good for business and everybody's gonna know about Fort Pierce.
But some say the influx of people may cause headaches.
Traffic's going to be a mess, and I don't know about rioting or any of that, but that's possible. I mean, he's got a lot of people that really love him and a lot of people that don't like him.
We're used to a crowded Florida anymore. It's just the way, it's just part of life.
But everyone agrees that people will love this gem of a town.
I like this town because you can do a lot of things with the family, with friends. You can do a lot of things in Fort Pierce.
Because it's just like quiet and away from chaos and stuff. So all that's going to be happening during the trial is not really regular around here. It's going to be something special.
It's going to definitely put it on the map. People are going to know what this town is about. And this town, even though it's a small little, this downtown area, it has a lot to offer.
As soon as we know of a trial date, jury summons will be sent out to registered voters in Okeechobee, Martin, St. Lucie, Indian River, and Highlands County.
Air traffic and safety concerns at Palm Beach County Park Airport, that's in Lantana, are being debated tonight. Last year, the county, it ended its battle with the FAA and rescinded its ban on small jets being able to land at the airport. Well, tonight, residents who live nearby are meeting with county officials to discuss what changes will mean. Our Luli Ortiz is joining us with what residents were told tonight.
Over a dozen residents and leaders, including Palm Beach County Mayor Greg Weiss, came out. Now, the issue at hand here, the introduction of jets mandated by the FAA at a small airport where jets have been banned since the 70s, and what improvements are needed to make sure that these private jets can land safely with no air traffic control tower on site. Palm Beach County Park Airport, also known as Lantana Airport, is small but very busy, averaging more than 200 takeoffs and landings a day, as well as flight schools operating out of there. And now the overturning of that decades-long jet ban. It's what led to this meeting Tuesday night at Palm Beach State College. Officials came out to hear straight from those residents living beneath the airport's flight path about what they think will help improve operational safety as jet traffic is expected to spike in the next 10 years.
How this is going to affect the residents with this increase and what's going on now?
Because it's a small general aviation facility, and now you're moving to the introduction of jets and perhaps other aircraft that shouldn't be accommodated at the airport as it's currently configured.
Many talked about plane pollution near wildlife parks and how there's a dire need for an air traffic control tower on site.
How in the hell do they communicate takeoffs and landings with no tower?
Our CBS 12 News I-team obtained several video clips of helicopters and single-engine planes flying at extremely low altitudes directly over homes and trees, raising more noise and safety concerns.
Pilots conduct a lot of voluntary measures to reduce the noise to people. We also have what we call a noise abatement runway at Lantana, which minimizes noise to the public.
Airport officials tell CBS 12 News that they would put all these recommendations into a safety assessment study for the FAA to look at, and ultimately it will be up to the Board of County Commissioners to decide on making any improvement changes following a vote. And we can expect an update sometime next spring.